Thank you everybody for joining today. We really appreciate you guys coming. If you don't know already, my name is Emmy and I am a developer advocate at Wix. And on my team, I do advocacy, community management, and education for all things related to being a developer on Wix. But if you're not a developer and you're here today, don't worry, because I think it will still be great information for you all. And if you haven't already, if you don't know me for some reason, be sure to join our Discord, which I will link in the chat shortly. We have a lot of great discussions here, and this webinar actually came about because of some discussions that we've been having in our Discord. So it's a great place for community questions and concerns. So the questions that we'll be addressing today are ones that we've sourced from Discord, thanks to some community members who I do see here. Hello, Kenton and Duncan. Thank you so much for your support on this webinar. This meeting will be recorded, so don't worry if you have to hop out or if you don't catch everything. We'll be uploading it to the Wix for Developers YouTube, which I'll also drop the link to. We'll try to keep this, it probably won't take up a whole hour, but we are going to have some questions, Q&A time at the end. We'll do our best to address all of them, but things are still a little bit tentative on our end, and we want to make sure we get the best response for you all. So there is a chance we won't get to you, but don't worry if not. We will definitely get to you in the Discord server. So after this, our conversation here today, we'll be posting somewhere all the Q&As that you guys asked and our responses to them for also anybody who couldn't make it today. So be sure to ask questions throughout the talk in either the chat or the Q&A feature on Zoom. And not just questions, but we would love to hear your feedback and your comments on anything that's being said as well. This is something that we're really excited to be developing, and it's in a stage where we are really looking for what people think and what people want. So this is going to be really helpful for us as well. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it away to the stores team, Lee and Donna. Enjoy, guys, and take it away.
Thank you, Emmy. Hi, everyone. We're very excited to be here today. Nice to meet you all. My name is Dana. I'm product manager in Wix Stores.
And hi, everyone. I am Lee. I'm the backend tech lead at Wix Stores.
So our agenda for today, we'll start with a Catalog v3 overview. We'll talk about the rollout plan, the migration. We'll lead some frequently asked questions that we heard from the channel and what will come next. Okay, so Catalog v3 overview. So we'll start with so I'm sure that some of you are already familiar with the new capabilities of the new catalog. And now I will walk you through the new concept of the catalog, some highlights, and what differentiated from the existing experience which makes it much better. First and foremost, the new catalog boosts performance, development velocity, and it generates a foundation of new advanced capabilities that I'll show you today. And of course, there are much more than that. Managing catalog by variants. Up until now, managing catalog has often meant working at the product level with some limitation when it comes to flexibility. With the new catalog, we're shifting that control down to the variant level. That means that each variant is no longer just a variation of the product, but it has all the properties that can be defined per variant, giving you more granularity and flexibility. So each variant has its own price, no more base price and surcharge, no more relying on the product price. Inventory is also managed by variants. You can now define different tracking methods for different variants under the same product. So for example, one variant can be not tracked, meaning in stock, while other can be tracked and have quantity of two. It also includes advanced cases like a pre-order, which can be defined only for a single variant out of few variants, again, all of them under the same product. Everything I mentioned is available both for the API, but also via the business manager. And last one, this time the new capability is in the BM only, as it's available in the API both for the new and the old catalog. We're enabling search at a variant table, here as you see in the picture, for relevant properties like SKU and barcode. And everything I mentioned is just a nutshell. We have a lot of properties under the variants. Modifiers. So what's changing here? So from now on, when you're adding a product option, they will automatically create variants. And if you have customization options that don't require inventory tracking, like gift wrap or engraving, those are no longer variants. We're calling them product modifiers. We're making this change because not every option should create a variant. Variants need to be treated like standalone product, each with its own price and inventory. But some options, like, as I said, gift wrap or engraving, don't impact inventory at all. So in the past, those also turned into variants, which led to unnecessary complexity and inventory issues. Now we separate them into two. The first one is product option, which creates variants, while modifier, the second one, handle customizations that don't require inventory and, as I said, are not longer creating variants. And they can be added on top of the sellable item, either if it's variants or if it's a simple product without variants under it. Looking ahead, we'll also support adding price per modifier, like gift wrap for extra $5 or engraving for when you charge $10 more. All of those giving the merchants both flexibility and control.
Okay. So if you look at the screen, this is a screenshot of our documentation, and modifier documentation can be found under customization together with the options. This API obviously lets you create, update, get, or whatever you need for either the options or the modifiers by choosing the relevant customization type. The example here is from the SDK docs. There is a small code snippet at the top right corner. We also have the rest documentation, which you can find additional examples for all the endpoints.
Okay, next up, let's talk about banks. So the idea is to create self-standing banks for a different type of product attributes. What does it mean? Attributes like ribbons, brand, info sections, options, and modifiers can be created once in the bank and then reused or applied to multiple products. Why this is useful? So it lets merchants manage and edit these attributes much faster, especially in large catalogs. Instead of updating each product individually, they can make a change once in the bank, and it will automatically updates across all the relevant products. So it saves time and keep the catalog consistent and accurate. Now we have a unified catalog for digital and physical products. So in the BM, it doesn't really mean say much, but it's pretty much the same. But in the API, it allows managing different products, different product types, within the same API. So it is public and available for you to use and build apps and extension if your merchant needs. The UI and the BM is also unified from our perspective, which will make it easier for us to introduce in the future new features and new capabilities, which for both product types at once. And since the API is unified, we can now create digital variants. Each digital variant has its own downloadable file, and it's available in the API, not in the BM yet. Multi-location inventory management. So this is another new capability in the API. This is critical for merchants with multiple stores that sell offline and online together, or multiple warehouses that fulfill online orders. And for us, it is the very new beginning for a huge and important area in the product. This unlocks integration with third-party integration, third-party management solution, sorry. And again, it's not supported in the business manager. Okay, let's talk about the rollout. So we were in contact with some of you in the very early stages of the rollout. We were at beta phase. So I'm happy to say that the new catalog is already live. Most of new Wix users that wants to sell online will get the new experience of the new catalog. By mid-October, we'll start rolling out the new catalog for existing users for their new sites only, while their existing sites will remain the same with no change. For you guys, you will get the new catalog by January after Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the holiday season, again for new sites only. And also here, all existing sites will remain the same with no change, and it won't affect them. Having said that, a little disclaimer here. The new catalog is available for you to use upon demand, and you are lucky to have the ability to choose. We will post here in the chat two links, one for a classic editor and one for Studio. It comes with no design, but the new catalog is pre-installed. And I really encourage you to use it and start creating new sites with those two links. So feel free to use it and know that any new capabilities from now on will be added to the new catalog, and sites that already have the new version will have the new capabilities automatically. Migration. So I know the migration is on many of your minds. So I want to reassure you, we're now in the planning stage. We're collecting data and feedback, and this is exactly where I want to invite you to be part of the process. So next month, we will share a feedback form in the Discord channel, and your input will help us to understand better your needs and to identify any edge cases. Once we'll have more clarity around the migration, we'll host another webinar to share all the outcomes that we have. And just to be clear, we are not shutting down V1 tomorrow morning or not anytime soon, as long as it's being used by you guys. Okay.
Okay. So we wanted to address some of the frequently asked questions we saw on Discord and on the different channels. And we also wanted to ask to please keep your feedback coming. We're constantly improving our documentation, and your feedback is critical for us. So let's dive in. Our first question. What is the difference between query and search, and when should I use each? So query is field-based. It's for fast deterministic data, and it lets you query catalog v3 entities with precise filters and sorts. So a few leading examples. I want to get all visible products created before 2024, or I want to sort all my products based on create date. These are use cases when I would usually use query. But then search is more for, let's say, discovery or full text. It also uses the relevant first mechanism. So, for example, if I want to get all products that contain the word red in the description, or if I want to get all products that have new in their ribbon. So, for example, if I have a ribbon that says new, 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 it will appear in the search results higher than a ribbon that has the word new just once. This is where the relevancy part comes into place. But then as a quick rule of thumb, when you're interested in keyword intent, fuzzy search, discovery, or best match, you would use search. But if you want precise operators and stable sorting, you would use query. Okay. How can I get the variance data? So this one came up quite a lot. So let me explain. So in order to keep query products API fast and stable, as some of you might have seen, its response doesn't include the variance. So returning variance for 100 products per page can result in a very large, very slow responses. But what do you do if you do want to get that variant data, which is crucial? So we offer you two flavors. One option is you call query products and get a page of products, and then you can call the query variants API with the product ID you already have in your hand and retrieve variants across different products. This endpoint is obviously paginated and you can page through it as you need. Additional option is if you are interested in the variants of a single product, then the get product API is for you. You can call get product on a specific product and get the single product with all its data and all its variants. So that's also an option. Another one, which is similar but different. How can I get my inventory data? Okay. So in Catalog v3, inventory items are per variant and location. So a single product might have multiple inventory items. The product entity itself, as you might have noticed, it holds some calculated inventory data like the availability status, and this one like tells you if the product is in stock, out of stock, or partially available. But that might not be enough. You might want to develop something that requires more granular inventory data. Like one leading example would be I want to show like the one left banner next to my product. And this high-level data doesn't help you in this case. You need to take into account all the inventory status of all the variants. So what do we do? You can either fetch the product by get product or query product, as I said before, and obtain the product IDs, or directly query the variants to get the variant IDs. And then you can call query inventory items with either the product or the variants, depending on what you're looking for. This is in a single batch request. You get back all the inventory items you need. This is also paginated, so you can get all the data through that endpoint. Once you have all the data at hand, you can calculate basically whatever you need. You can iterate over these items and understand how many items do you actually have in stock, and if you only have one left, then you can display the banner. I'll wrap this up by saying that the product data is relatively static, while the inventory data, as you might know, it's volatile and also permissioned. So the idea of separating the two is keeping the reading of the product fast. It's cacheable, it's predictable, while the inventory data stays accurate in real time.
Okay. So what's next? So we're actively working on the next wave of features and improvements, and it will include subcategories. CMS, we had some missing capabilities comparing to V1, so very soon we will release them as well. New option types that will be displayed as buttons will support more than 15 images per product, multi-location inventory management in the business manager for POS users, and many more to come in 2026, like additional price for modifiers, new option types as images, digital variants, and more. Okay, so I guess that now is the time for you guys for questions. Emmy, do you have any?
Yeah.
from the chat?
We do. We have a couple questions already. So Duncan is asking, can variants be added as a field, as all category info is, for example? If you need clarification from Duncan, I can put him on the mic if he is okay with that. Or you can type out uh, any clarifications you have, Duncan. Does that question make sense to you guys?
Um, Let me see. I can try and answer it, and let's see if I got it right. So, you're at if I understand correctly, you mean that you want to get the variance data back, but have it as like requested field, right? Not have it return always as part of the product response. Did I get that one right?
I'm allowing Duncan to mic permission so he can clarify. Duncan, are you here?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
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 Yeah, I suppose thanks for covering your like lightweight structure in terms of like the product data, then variance and inventory. But contrary to that, when I just want to get everything and use everything and display a gallery, I have to go through several steps of getting product variant and inventory, and obviously it puts a lot of strain on that development side. But there are features like the query API that have fields where we say, give me a limited amount of data unless I define it as a field, which it seems like you're going in that strategy. So could variants and potentially inventory make their way into those fields? So I don't get like media info if I don't ask for it in a field. I can reference the API docs if we need to. But it's like query products and we say fields, give me these fields. Which is really nice for things like category, which previously wasn't included in V1, and whether that theory could be extended to say, I need everything that I want to display in a store.
Okay, so I think I got the question. I can tell you that we thought about returning the variants as like a requested field like you have for media as part of the query variants, but then as I said, because potentially you can have 100 products and then 1,000 variants per product, it just made the query very large and it impacted basically the system performance. That's why to mitigate it, we offer a get product, which is leaner, but then if you want to query, like you want to get the variance data of multiple products, then we have this two-step mechanism because it really impacted the system performance. This is actually also true to the inventory data. The problem with inventory is a bit different because the fact is that inventory does change a lot. And then it did affect the way the product behaved because it became unpredictable. There were many, many changes on the product. And that's why we think separating the two makes it so that you can get like the accurate product data that doesn't change. But then if you query inventory separately, which is often changing, then it doesn't affect the product. So that's why we split the queries, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, hope that answers your question, Duncan. Thank you, Lee, for the thought process on how we make those decisions. It's really interesting for me to hear as well. We got another question from Sue, who is asking about starting an adding a new storefront to an old website. And she wants to know how she would get started, if it's by adding old Wix stores to her studio site or by building her site around the new store template or something else.
Again, can you repeat that?
Um, She wants to know basically how to get started by adding a new storefront to an old website. And she was curious, like the options she was considering were should she add old Wix stores to her studio site or build her site around the new store template that we just sent the links for, or is there another recommendation?
Not sure I really understand the question, so maybe we can take it offline and then answer in the Discord channel. If it's only regarding design, this is something we can talk about, but I'm not sure if this is what she meant. Do you understand something?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries. I think she was just meaning like if she wants to have the new catalog on her existing website, like what would be
Oh,
your recommendation?
okay. So it's not really available, to be honest. Yes, we should wait for the migration to start, and then it will be the accurate way to handle the availability of the new catalog.
Cool. Hope that answers your questions, Sue. Also, I realize I didn't let anybody talk in chat. You should be able to. If you can't, ask a question and let me know. So Kenton has another question. He is asking about the Wix store limitation. So V1 was limited in the number of items that could be created in the store, which is 50,000, and the number of options and number of choices, as well as the number of variants. So now that variants act as the product part, what would be the limit for those in V3?
Okay, so in terms of the limitation, most of them remains the same. So we still have 50,000 products in one store. We still have 1,000 variants per product, and everything really remains the same. I think what makes the change is the addition of modifiers, because up until now, modifiers were kind of part of the variants that were created in V1, which reached the limit very fast to 1,000. So now when we split the modifier into, when we split the customization into options that generate variants and modifiers that comes on top of that, we actually exceed somehow the limitation by having, again, 1,000 variant, but all the customization are not calculated as part of it. Hope it answers the question.
Cool. Hope that clears things up for you, Kenton. I don't see any other questions for now. If anyone has any comments or feedbacks or further questions that they think of later, we are definitely welcome to hear them. As promised, here is the link to our Discord and YouTube channels where you can watch the recording and also stay in touch with the storage team and me. We do have a stores catalog V3 channel in there where Dana also browses, and you'll be able to reach the team directly for any questions. And we'll probably also post any information we shared from this webinar today. But thank you guys all so much for being here. We really appreciate your time and hope this cleared things up for you. Dana and Lee, do you have any final words for all of our guests?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We'll be in touch
Awesome.
in the next webinar.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next webinar. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.